All right, can everyone see my screen?
I see, yes.
Yep, I can see your screen.
Perfect. All right, well, it's 10:03. I guess like our first contestant might not be on time, but that's okay. Let's get started. So, hi everyone. Welcome to the SCF 11 candidate pitches. My name is Anke Liu and I'm a program manager on the ecosystem team at the Stellar Development Foundation. So welcome everyone. So before we begin, like for anyone who is new here, like SCF, what's that? So the Stellar Community Fund is an open application grant program that gives out up to 24 million lumens, which is Stellar's native currency, every year to Stellar-based projects based on community input. The program has been growing over the past few. Oh, my cat was playing piano. So the program has been growing over the past few years, and it's super exciting to see everyone here today. So how the SCF works, it's actually like we have 2 rounds through different phases. So we started out earlier this round. We actually in the 11th round. We started earlier with the submission phase, and then we went into the candidate selection. And so we actually had 2 candidate selection phases this round. But now we're really starting the community discussion. And this is one of the most exciting parts of the Stellar Community Fund, as it allows the Stellar community itself to kind of get involved with the 50 selected teams and ask questions and give feedback. And then probably starting next week, it will be the community vote until December 4th, where the verified community members will vote on which candidates they want to see grow in the ecosystem. And these are verified candidates, and anyone can become also verified who has proven their dedication to the ecosystem. So yeah, we definitely invite everyone to do so, and I can share more at the end of this session as well on how to do that. All right, so SCF 11, we currently have a pool amount of 8 million XLM. We have received 152 submissions, similar, exactly the same amount as SCF 10. So I wanted to actually go over the record, but this time, unfortunately not. Next time, I'm swearing next time, yes. And we were able to select more candidates, so that means that the quality of entrance really went up this time, and we selected 50 candidates. Now, like today's session schedule, so basically the candidate pitches allow all the SCF 11 candidates to present for 5 minutes to highlight their solution, showcase their core abilities, and even show a demo. And also allows for the Stellar community itself to give feedback or ask questions, and actually make sure to ask questions. So everyone here, make sure to ask questions. We have. Oh, please mute yourself if you're not muted.
I'll give a very simple example. For healthcare, a doctor, when I went to meet he introduced me to the team.
Okay, perfect. Apologies. Oh yeah, so I'll open it a bit bigger. So yeah, basically we have an interesting lineup today. We might not come to every one of them, and we might shift the schedule a bit, but you will see that in a bit. Oh, all right. Oh, go back. So attendee guidelines. To watch the candidate screen, you'll need to click on it within Discord and exit when screen sharing ends. So each of the candidates will share their screen. You have to actually click on it. Only members with candidate roles, SCF 11 roles, and verified roles are able to unmute themselves. So if you don't have this role, please use the chat box to ask questions and ask to be unmuted to ask your question. My slides are definitely all right. So if you don't have this, so any inappropriate or unconstructive behavior, not in the best spirits of the SCF, will not be tolerated. So definitely make sure that you are kind and supportive to your fellow competitors. And if time's up, feel free to leave any feedback or any questions in the candidates' individual forum posts in SCF 11. So after community discussion, we have community vote. You can come. Oh, this is actually for after, right? So yeah, I think this is actually it. All right, let me stop sharing my screen. And then, oh, great, we have Nabarun here who will kick us off for the candidate pitches. Nabarun, do you want to quickly unmute yourself?
Sure. Shall I share my screen?
Yes.
Sure.
Also, it's great to see so many people here showing up for our first candidate pitches. It's amazing to have you all here. So definitely open up that chat box and make sure to ask any questions afterwards and prepare them and write them down so you can get started. Awesome. All right. Let me see if I can. All right. I can see your screen, Nabarun. Take it away.
Sure. Thank you. So hi guys, this is Nabarun. I'm the founder of Autify Network. We are building a decentralized infrastructure for supply chain, cross-border payment, and lending for mainly for the B2Bs and enterprise. So we started our journey almost a year back, focusing more in the supply chain and counterfeit and a couple of other areas. And later, after doing a couple of market research and working with around 30 to 35 enterprise and B2B companies, we also extended our product offering. So we added a cross-border payment solution, also added a insurance payout for the B2Bs and enterprise. So currently we are completely focusing on four problem area. As I said, we started with the origin and supply chain traceability, counterfeit and product authenticity. Also, we started working on the cross-border payment for B2B, and also we are focusing on the insurance claim and the payout for the B2Bs and the enterprises. So who we are mostly coming from startup backgrounds. Like majority of our team are kind of having a huge amount of startup background. Either they have worked with startup previously or they used to run their own companies. So as a my if I tell you my experience, so I've been building startups since last 8 years. This is technically my fourth company that I'm working currently. So my majority of experience is coming from supply chain and cross-border payment area. I've raised $3 million in funding previously from Microsoft Venture, Silicon Road, and many other investors. Not only team, we also got some good amount of support from the advisors, some of the top advisors that we onboarded, and they have been helping us from last few months to build Autify and kind of guiding us in many areas from legal, finances, and also business operations. So this is the counterfeit problem that we kind of started working almost a year back. So based on our research, we figured out that the losses due to counterfeit in 2021 was $2.7 trillion, and this number is growing 30% every single year, and this will touch more than 8 trillion by 2026. But also, if I talk about cross-border payment problem, so millions of business around the world transfer around $2 trillion in cross-border payment each year, and mostly they use SWIFT, right? And what are the problems in SWIFT? It's high cost, slow transaction costs, slow transaction confirmation time, because normally cross-border payment takes around 7 to 8 days, or sometimes it's more, right? And also security issues, right? And that's what we are kind of aiming to solve using Stellar right now. So for supply chain traceability, we first kind of create a digital twin. That's the first journey we do. I'll not go into more details. So that the second process is track and trace. So right now what we are doing is, because as I said, we are working with 35 plus enterprise across the globe. Now we are also integrating Stellar and offering the cross-border payment to the existing customers. So all these 35 enterprise, they combine, they process almost a $5 billion in cross-border payment. So our idea is to kind of offer this cross-border service to these existing customers and kind of get some adoption immediately. So this is the current product development. We are already live on the testnet. For supply chain, we are currently working on the cross-border payment, micro lending, and a couple of other areas, and we will be kind of launching these by next month. And also a couple of other product that is in the pipeline that will come in next few weeks. So this is the product module we have. So if I talk about a couple of our tractions, we got selected for India Blockchain Accelerator. We are also working with Government of India, and it was run by the India Blockchain Accelerator was run by Government of India. And we also got grants from a couple of other layer 1 and layer 2, Near Protocol, Filecoin, Definity, Bioeconomy. And as I said, we have been kind of working with more than 35 enterprise and B2B from last 6 to 7 months. So these are the couple of our revenue model. We are
30
mostly a
seconds
SaaS.
left.
Yeah, we're mostly a SaaS company. So our main revenue model is SaaS subscription and monthly subscriptions. And also we do have a couple of transaction fees and protocol fees. So as I said, we are also part of India Blockchain Accelerator. These are the couple of our partners and integrations. We are also part of Blue Venture partner projects. And this is our token utility. Yeah, I think I'm done. I'm happy to answer if you have any questions.
Oh, that's within time. That's amazing, Nabarun. Thank you so much for your presentation. All right, does anyone have any questions?
I do. So I mean, Stellar for cross-border payments is clear how it is integrated, but are you also integrating Stellar in the tracking or authenticity?
Correct.
Or how do you
So
do
we
it?
are correct. So we are integrating Stellar in all the transaction processes. That includes the supplies and traceability transaction as well, because we'll be doing and we'll be working with the Stellar USDC. So we also have a insurance payout. We also have a reward payout. We also have a couple of other things, and we'll be using Stellar for all the transaction in the platform.
Great. So I think you showed the pricing slide very quickly. So how is your pricing model?
So as we are working with multiple category in the industry, so we are working with fashion, luxury, automotive, wine and spirit. So the pricing based on the category that we are working. So at the pilots we are doing is like a variable prices that we are charging from these clients and enterprise. But yeah, we are yet to publish our final pricing on the platform. So we are still working on that.
Awesome. Any last questions?
I have a question. How does Authify prevent counterfeit on the B2B payment?
So we are not using counterfeit solution for the payment. We are using counterfeit solution for the physical product. So we have multiple features in the platform. We started with supply chain traceability counterfeit, and now we are offering cross-border payment to these enterprises that we are working. So we are not offering counterfeit for the cross-border payment.
Okay.
Awesome. So I guess that's about it for our time. I know it goes very quickly. If you have any more questions for Authify, please ask them in the Authify forum post in the SCF forum channel. Awesome. So thank you so much. All right. So it does look like we are up for our next contestant, which is our Roki. BC, would you mind sharing your screen and get started?
Absolutely. Let me share my screen. Can you see my screen?
Yes, I'm starting your time now.
Okay, thank you. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Oroki Pitch. My name is BC Adedokun. I'm the founder and CEO of Oroki. Oroki provide B2B and P2P payment solutions for both cross-border and domestic payments. We develop our solution using Stellar blockchain. We have developed many relevant SEP protocols to serve as a receiving and sending anchor. So we're essentially a sending anchor and we're also a receiving anchor. We have also issue our own stable coin, which we call USDO. It's backed by USD on a 1-to-1 ratio. And the number of tokens that we issued is backed by USD in an audited reserve account. So our account is audited by an external auditor to make sure that we have the amount of tokens that we have actually issued in an audited account. Here is our Rocky's team. We have a very strong team who have an excellent chemistry of working together. Collectively, we have many years of experience both in finance, banking, technology, and security. This is what we are requesting for this grant. We are requesting for 190,000 in grant. 30% of that's going to go into customer acquisition. 60% of that is going to general administrative. A key component of that is we are bringing in one software engineer and one compliance officer. Oroki has acquired 7 money transmitter licenses in the US to date, and we hope to get additional 6 MTL in the next 6 to 12 months. What is the problem we are solving? Oroki is solving the problem of high transaction fees, average of 8 to 10 per transaction. In some cases, we've heard about if you are sending money through Western Union, in some cases, you might be paying up to 12.5% of the amount that you are sending, which is just mind-boggling. We're also solving the problem of delay in settlements and, of course, high currency exchange markup. The Oroki solution enables lower transaction fees because we are using the Stellar blockchain to enable payment and to be able to remove intermediations. We are delivering payment in near real time, and we also provide a solution that enables both domestic and cross-border payment on the same app. With that, I'm going to be moving to do a quick demo of the app, how the app actually works. So give me a few seconds. Let me pivot to our demo. Okay, can you see my screen for the demo?
Yeah, we can see it. You have a minute left, though.
Okay, very good. So when you log in through your two-factor authentication, you would land on this homepage, and on the homepage, you can send payments. Here, you can send both domestic and cross-border. So for this demo, I'm going to do a domestic payment. I will add a recipient. So I'm sending some money to my wife. And I can see her Stellar wallet address, her name and Stellar wallet address is all there. I'm going to be sending her 50 USD. And that is our coin USDO, and the destination token is the same amount. I'm going to provide the reason why I'm sending the payment for friends and family. I don't have any note. I'm going to go to next, and I'm going to accept the terms and conditions, and I'm going to hit the send button. That's done. So that is how domestic payment will be sent to using our app, and you can do cross-border the same way in cross-border. And this happens in almost near real time. With that is complete my demo and my presentation, and I will be open for question and answer. Thank you, and we are asking you to vote for Roki so that we can move on to our next growth and scale. Thank you very much. Open for question and answer.
Awesome. Thank you, BC. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
I see you're applying for money transmitter licenses in the US. So how many states have you got a license, and how many more states you're trying to cover to get the license?
To date, we've gotten 7 MTL licenses: Florida, New Jersey, Arizona, Delaware, Ohio, Montana. Missing one. Yeah, we've gotten 7 licenses. We plan to get, on our next phase of license, we have Georgia, Illinois, Washington, Massachusetts, Virginia, and Ohio. Also, yeah. So we are doing this in phases, right? So on our first phase, we've gotten 7 licenses. Our next phase, we want to try to get additional 6 MTL licenses in the next 6 to 12 months.
So as you get licenses, those states will be enabled. Say if I don't have license in Massachusetts, I can't do it till the license comes to my state.
That's correct. Yes.
Awesome. Any more questions?
I have the same question that I see was posted as far as what are the benefits of using your USDO as opposed to just using USDC?
Yeah, so that gives us a lot of flexibility. Like right now, we have other anchors that are using USDO as in their wallet, and we are able to develop an API to give to them. So it's just the flexibility that it gives us to be able to issue our own token and provide it to other anchors that want to use our coin as a token asset for their own project. For instance, we are providing USDO for Remy TV to be able to do checkout for NFT fee asset that creators are buying on their platform. So that's just for utility and for flexibility. Yeah.
Awesome. We have another question in chat. Roland asks, what is USDO backed by?
USD, 1-to-1 ratio in an audited account. So our reserve account has been audited by an external accounting firm.
Awesome. Any more questions? Any last questions? Feedback? I guess, yeah, I can have one. So thank you again. BC, those was really great. Also, BC and his team, like Oroki was part of the bootcamp. They made great progress. What is the feature that you built during the bootcamp?
Oh, nice. Thanks for asking that question. So we built a reward feature, which enables us to provide reward for users on our platform to incentivize them so that they can invite their friends and family to be part of our Oroki platform. And once they invite their friends and family and they conduct transaction on the platform, we give them a reward, and they have that reward. They can send that reward to their wallet, or they can actually donate that reward into any nonprofit organization of their choice. So that was the feature that we implemented. And it's not a throwaway feature. We're actually incorporating that feature into our product.
Yeah, that was definitely, thank you so much for sharing. That was a record speed. It was like literally a few days that we did. And I was like there to facilitate, and they were like, yeah, no, we are good. We don't need you. And I'm like, okay, great. Got all sorted out. No, it's great. And I love the donate to a charity feature, because often it's people like giving back to the world. So yeah, it's great to see, and wishing you best of luck in SCF. Awesome. So I think we are up for our next candidate, BravePay. Javi, do you want to unmute yourself and share your screen? And BC, feel free to close your screen right now.
Awesome. Can you hear me, guys?
Yes, perfect.
And let me see if you can go live with my presentation. Do you see my presentation on the screen?
Yes, I see a black screen.
Oh, black.
Well, I see the black screen on your presentation, so I see a slide deck. Yeah.
Oh.
You might want to click share of a present or something.
Can you see it? No.
No, I can see only the kind of the window with the slide decks on it, but I can't see the presentation.
Okay, let me share it back again. Sorry for this. Okay, there we go. Should be able to see it now. Guys, can you see it?
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry for the back and forth. So, hi everyone. Thanks for having me today. I'm Javier Gutierrez. I'm co-founder and CEO at Brave. We are the fintech that introduces a new era of payments powered by Stellar. We are a Spanish-based company, and since our incorporation in 2019, we have achieved a number of awards and recognitions. Some you can see them here, thanks to our super team of 17 people with diverse backgrounds and 8 different nationalities. But more important than who we are and the things that we do is why we do this. And it will be a lot more clear to you through the stories of these 3 little entrepreneurs that you see on the screen. Paco, the owner of a little cafe in the center of Madrid. Over 70% of his customers pay by card today, which is affecting his business model and margins. Julia, the manager of a fashion shop in Rome. More and more of the trendiest customers that visit her shop want to pay with crypto, but she finds it too complicated, and she's losing customers for this. And Laura, the owner of a cannabis e-commerce in Canada, that she needs a non-intrusive way to verify the age of the customers. So for Paco, Julia, and Laura, we created BravePay. BravePay is a zero-fees payment ecosystem powered by Stellar that makes cashless payments universally accessible to on and offline retailers. BravePay provides them with the point-of-sale terminal in any smartphone or website, an easy way to accept fiat, encrypt, and store dollar value in Stellar USDC with 0 transaction fees, and what we call tech steroids, like access controls, NFT tickets automation, direct debit crypto payments, age verification to take their business to the next level. The way it works is super simple. Customers pay with bank cards, Apple or Google Pay, with BravePay wallets, or with third-party wallets. This is one of the features that we developed in the bootcamp with over 15 cryptos, and retailers get crypto from the website or a smartphone converted into a Stellar USDC straight in their Brave Pro professional account. From there, they can transfer funds to any other Stellar address or to their verified bank account. Let me now navigate you through what makes BravePay unique. So setting up your wallet takes just 1 minute. Simply download the app from the Apple or Google Play Store. You can sign up using your email or connecting with your Apple or Google accounts, and then you simply go through a selfie age verification for our AI to create your anonymous age tag, and you will be completely set. Brave Pro transforms any smartphone in a point-of-sale terminal that collects payments from cards and crypto wallets. And at our customer portal, you can create the credentials for your staff in just a few clicks. You simply need the email that we'll use to log in into our iOS or Android app. In essence, Brave Pro can be used like any conventional data phone. Simply have to enter the amount of the check in your local currency. Customers can now authorize those transactions simply scanning the QR code with BravePay or third-party wallets within a feature, or getting their phone or contactless card near the merchant's smartphone. You can also select items from your store product list and create much more detailed tickets for your customers. And arguably, one of the interesting features of BravePay is that you can create direct debit orders, crypto direct debit orders that are automatically credited from your customers' wallets on a due date. And these subscriptions can be tailored in your customer portal and will show up automatically on your apps. And last, Brave Pro can be used to validate the NFT tickets that regulate the access to your events, venues, or value-added services. And with our NFT automation in the portal, retailers can create NFT tickets in just a couple of clicks. Well, you can see here that we love Stellar. We are built on Stellar, and we unleash the full power of Stellar in our ecosystem. We leverage Stellar operations at BravePay account creation, in Brave Pro retail transactions, in the management of the transactional asset BraveCoin and the stablecoin for the locker, in our reward services, in reporting applications, in our cross-chain feature that will bridge volume from other blockchains into Stellar. And we also integrate Stripe, Apple, Google Pay, and Circle for the off-ramps. By June 2023, we'll get in Spain 500 Brave Pro retail customers. We are aiming at 10,000 BravePay wallets funded and leading to a transactional volume of over $12 million. These ambitious targets will put us in an optimal position for Series A funding for our international expansion. But to achieve these, we need your support with your votes in this round of the Stellar Community Fund, because BravePay is not just a startup or just a product. It's a full need for people like Paco, Julia, and Laura. So for them, help us to make the future of payments a reality today. Thank you.
Awesome. That was great. I love the, wow, so fancy. I love it. So great. Well, thank you so much, Javi, for presenting. This was really like a very professional presentation. I really liked it. Great. Is there anyone who has any questions or feedback or wants to share anything?
Yeah, I have a question. Hey, Javi, nice presentation. I just want to know what has been your customer acquisition strategy so far, or how do you plan to continue to grow users in your platform?
Yeah, so that's a very good question. So far, we have conducted small pilot tests with customers in different verticals. We have identified that the live music events is a very interesting vertical. And they're super interested for that, and we have contacts in the industry. We have managers of bands that are connected into that. We know that the luxury and fashion is also a very interesting one because we have high-end customers that have crypto assets and they want to use them for paying. And we know especially that at nightlife entertainment, like big discos, there is a big need there. Our customer acquisition strategy starts with offline sales agents. We are planning to hire 2 offline sales agents for January this next year, and 1 online sales agent that will take care of all the e-commerce. We don't have any clarity yet on what would be the potential customer acquisition cost. We're looking into targets of around 2 customers per day per offline agent and around 1 customer per day per online agent. So these 500 people that you can see as 500 stores in the ecosystem by June will be pretty much driven by these estimates.
That's nice. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Awesome. Any other questions?
Yes, Javi, I have one. So first, congratulations. I've never seen a Control H in a wallet so far, and this is done automatically, right? It's not done by a person?
Yes, it's done automatically. We have an AI algorithm. So it's actually, some people ask, this was initially the first feature that was developed by Brave. We have a face algorithm that analyzes the facial landmarks of the user. So we don't cross-check this with any database of faces. And this algorithm, with around 90% accuracy, determines the age of the user. In some borderline cases, we go through a second-level verification, but in most of the adult cases, it works really fine. Actually, with this feature, we won an award by UNICEF in the UNICEF lab in Spain back in 2020, I think, and we also won the Spanish award of Emprendedor 21, which is one of the most prestigious awards by the Spanish bank CaixaBank.
And then this kind of authentication is done because the business wants it, but legally is legal.
Yeah, well, that I would explain.
It's just for the business itself that wants to check the age.
Well, my background, I was coming from a big corporation like Philip Morris International, and there we have like some internal we used to have internal marketing code that was preventing underage exposure to the content because it's a harmful product, tobacco products. So I had this idea when I was working actually by the company, because most of the age verification solutions that are in the market are based on processing documents. This is a massive barrier for the end users. So this system accommodates is pretty much close to face-to-face verification by an agent, like we used to have in promotions at point of sale, but it's done by a machine. And machines sometimes you know that can be more precise than humans in certain activities. No,
That's
So
excellent. That's
this,
excellent for the. Can I still ask one question? I'm much interested in your project. I'm from Spain.
Yeah, so we are definitely coming up on time. So Jeff Branch, I highly recommend continuing the discussion in the SCF channel for Brave Pay. Apologies, we are definitely coming on time. These are short minutes. That said, is Stellar Tipbot here for our next? If not, I don't think so. I don't see him. Okay. Well, thank you so much, Javi from Brave Pay. That was an amazing presentation, and I am sure there's a lot of that can continue from this, and definitely continue the conversation. JF Branch and Gauthier, you are up next with Go Market. Take it away.
Yes, hello. Let me just share my screen quickly. I hope everyone can see it. The usual question.
Yeah, you actually stopped sharing, so you need to share it again.
Okay, just one sec. Is it working now? Or still not?
Yeah, no, you're ending it every time I open it.
Okay, just one second. Now, is it green? Or do you see the Discord?
I see Discord, yes. No, so you should not click on stop sharing, because then you stop sharing. So you should only click on sharing, and then you should share the correct screen. Yes, now I see it. Now
there
I
you
see
go.
the correct
Okay,
screen.
perfect.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right, take it away.
Okay. Every 24 hours, enough sunlight touches the Earth to provide energy for the entire planet for 24 years. So this quote by Martha Maida demonstrates the opportunity that we actually have right in front of us that could solve the energy crisis that we are enduring at the moment. So the aim of Net3 Energy is to exploit exactly that opportunity by creating solar communities where multiple participants own an array of solar panels and benefit through receiving energy. So first of all, I would like to introduce you to our team. Felipe is the founder of Net3 Energy and will be answering your questions after this presentation. And I am Gauthier Rubat, in charge of business development. So the main purpose of Net3 Energy is the production of green energy, allowing for the creation of energy certificates. As modern problems require modern solutions, Net3 Energy offers answers to the three issues of power shortage, green energy production, and profitability of the solar energy sector. So the issue of low profitability within the solar energy can be solved through the generation and sale of guarantees of origin. But what are guarantees of origin? The so-called GOs track the sources of power generated and qualify them as renewable. So these energy certificates can be sold to companies or individuals that voluntarily want to improve their carbon footprint and demonstrate carbon climate consciousness. So one GO verifies the production of 1,000 kilowatts, and we calculate with a selling price of approximately 20 Swiss francs for one GO. So for the ease of the customer experience, the GOs can directly be sold on our platform, allowing to easily offset emissions. A demo of this platform can be found on the right-hand side. We quickly want to show you a demo as well. So here's an example of the fully functioning platform, the exchange for companies and professional traders, with the option to offset a price limit, set the number of certificates acquired, and signing with Fright Wallet, zero balance or available capital. The transaction has successfully been processed by Stellar, and we go to the portfolio to see the acquisitions, past transactions or pending offers, and managing them. So also we see the claim use button, which after clicking it certifies that certificates have been used and are no longer tradable. So this is also where Stellar comes in. The entire process from issuing to trading of GOs is built on the Stellar blockchain, allowing for low infrastructural costs, keeping records of operations, and an easy portfolio creation. As for the producers, there will be a registered client base, the opportunity for certified ownership, and a real-time value settlement and trades. The second part of the project includes the community solar management. So Net3 Energy offers a platform which will be connecting people willing to invest in solar panels by forming cooperatives. The members of these cooperatives will be benefiting through receiving clean energy at low rates and the sale of production surpluses. So now I would just like to briefly summarize the key takeaways that we want you to keep in mind. First of all, there's the opportunity for extra compensation that is offered for the production of solar energy. The installation of solar panels and production of green energy is incentivized, and a platform for the trading of guarantees of origins is included. All of that will be built on the Stellar blockchain, resembling a valuable partner for us.
Hi, now I can answer.
Exactly, we're very grateful for the opportunity to participate in this round of the SCF, and we would like to now give you the opportunity to ask questions to get to know our project even better. Also, if you have questions afterwards, feel free to get in touch. And you can check out our demo if you go to gomarket.net3.energy. When you log in with your FIDO wallet, you will even have access to the customer features. And this is actually it from my side, and I would like to now hand over the microphone to Philippe Branch, who you just heard, who's the founder of Net3 Energy. Thank you very much.
Hey, thank you, Gautier. Yes, I'm here to answer all your questions. We have been building on Stellar already for a year, more than a year. We were winners with a project called Kunst 21 for carbon investing into a year ago from the SCF.
Awesome. Gautier, you have a professional speaker voice. It's really nice to listen to.
Thank you very much.
Great. Well, that was a lovely presentation. Does anyone have any questions?
Hello.
Yes.
Actually, have a question regarding the technical stack. You are using Net3, right?
Yeah, so the Net3 is the whole project, and the owners of solar panels are able to sell as well guarantees of origin, renewable energy certificates. It's a part of the compensation for the production. So you can sell the energy on one side, and you can also sell the certificates on the other side. And that's the whole project. And then the guarantees of origin market can operate on its own, either with the surpluses of those communities or also with external solar panels owners. So they can just, doing a simple sign-up form, they can straightforward sell us the guarantees of origin.
Okay, thank you. Do you have an open source project?
It's not open source, but if you go to the
okay.
page, it's available. You can see all the features, but the assets itself, so the guarantees of origin that are as an example, they are authorized and request. So you can see the platform and also some customer features, but you cannot trade the assets. Also, when you have a Frighter wallet, okay? We do the logins for the customers through Frighter wallet.
Okay, thank you.
I think Fernando has a question from Paystream. Fernando, do you want to quickly unmute yourself?
Yes, hi. This is Fernando from Paystream. I have a quick question. Can you tell us what are your strategies for driving adoption of your product, Felipe?
Yes. So in the guarantees of origin are paid now at 10 euros, so to say, for 1,000 kilowatts, and that's very few money because they are sold to the customers at 40 by the energy providers. So there is a big gap on the price paid for them to the producers, and we want to pay. Very easy for us will be to pay the double. So to say, there is no external parties in this game. Most of it is controlled by electricity energy operators, and then we want to pay way more. So idea is basically with all the products we are building to incentivize so make more profitable the production of solar energy. So I think it's good enough that we increase this payments by twice easy.
All right, great, super interesting. Thank you very much, Felipe.
Thanks.
Actually, wonder, is there any other similar solutions on the market?
So built on blockchain, I don't know any of them. Which is normal style or traditional finance. Would you have? There is one market in. I know mostly the European market. There is one in Norway. I listed all of them in our on our submission. So there is one in Norway called Green Power Hub, and there is one also in Berlin, and there is a yeah, okay. So there are three. Sorry.
So this is quite a niche yet. Thank you.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. Any more questions, please? Please go to the SCF channel and to Go Market and ask your questions. Awesome. So next up is scam flagging system. So crypto hobbyist, please unmute yourself and share your screen. And thanks again, JF, Brand, Felipe, and Gauthier for presenting. That was amazing. All right. Scam flagging system. You want to unmute yourself? Crypto hobbyist? You're muted right now.
Okay. Here we go. Are we seeing this now? There. Okay, so my name is Rob Radnish. I'm assuming you can see the screen now, or is that correct?
Press slideshow. Yeah, awesome.
Okay, so my system or my project is very different than anything else you're going to see. It's very much focused on trying to help the perception of the Stellar blockchain with people that are involved in token trading, and I call it the Stellar, the scam flagging system. I'm also suffering from a cold, and so I hopefully can talk pretty decently here. So right off the bat, I just want to show an example because some people may not really understand what some of the problems are that I'm trying to address. And if we did a search of the word Tesla, we'd find 60 tokens, 120 tokens, 124 different tokens that have Tesla. 87 of them just have the name Tesla, where we have 37 tokens with Tesla in their name. And so I started an investigation with a couple other people on Discord, and I put together this little data table, and I was basically trying to find out what real world assets were being scammed by different projects. So for example, here we can see the Indus Exchange had 2,600 tokens that they had put together. And, all I did in this part was just 29 different domains. And we had 3,694 copycat scam domains. You can see over here we have the Stellar assets where it's a couple different copycats of each other. And unfortunately, I really like the destock program, but I truly think that part of what really hurt them was the bad name that came with them because everybody thought they were involved in the scam. And so the destock program that Stellar had been involved with through their community grant program got killed, I believe, because of some of these scams that had taken place. So what am I trying to do? I'm trying to get light shined on the scams because scammers don't like to be exposed. And when they're exposed, they just go hide in the dark corners. I want to reduce the number of these scammers. I want to try to see that these scammers decide it's going to be better for them to go to someplace else to make some money. How do we do this? We do this by using a fact-based flagging project. And so the only thing that we use are verifiable facts. So you can see we're looking for, are they making a fake connection to a company, counterfeit tokens, counterfeit domains, copycat tokens? Are they minted by known fraudulent serial minters? Have they falsified the TOML file? So this project actually is a marriage of three different resources. And the first thing is a list that I started a long time ago. I called it the Very Extensive List of Questionable Token Domains. And I started this back about 9 months ago. It actually started off of a list from one of the well-known scammers who had about 60 tokens they were trying to pump. And I started with that list. And since then, I have over 1,300 that are on here that I've used criteria for why they are put onto this list. I also on my list have been putting things like you can see in the bottom here, scam airdroppers, serial minters, some of these other what scams are on these other systems, because not all of those Stellar mints or X mints are scams. My second part is I'm working with Orbit Lens, who is the lead developer with Stellar Expert, and just focusing on helping with their malicious flagging of different assets. And I'll have some more information about that in a little bit, what we've achieved. And then the last thing that I have that I'll be relying upon are Stellar users. I'm involved with multiple Telegram groups, connections with some of the developers and investigators, GitHub, Discord, YouTube. I get input from some of the files that I've had online from different people. And there's over 7 million Stellar accounts. So anybody could try to give us information to help make Stellar a safer place. But what have we accomplished so far? If any of you have been watching Stellar or Stellar Expert, you would be able to see that recently the domain names are being showed in lowercase in addition to what they tried to use. There's a lot of scamming that is done by using a combination of lowercase and uppercase layers or text, I'm sorry. And that's shown in the results and the actual token information display. Other accomplishments since I got started, 160 new flagged domains, dozens of scammers and airdroppers. Started to review investigation team on Telegram to look at less overt scams. Started training a person actually in Africa to help with finding some of these so that they can be reviewed. Future plans. Want to finish up the investigation team. Want to find some more people that can help review. Want to catch up on flagging tokens that are on my list that are many still to go. And the vision that I have is to have more devs and their different skills involved. In fact, I've had some volunteers. I see some people that are viewing now that have volunteered to help with some stuff or get involved. Want to add some scripting to help with this, develop a bounty program possibly create a subscription service so that people that
time's coming up. Time's up.
Okay.
Yeah, time's almost up. So round up.
So that's it. Does anybody have any questions or comments on this?
It's a very unique project. Great job on getting something very useful for the Stellar ecosystem. Great pitch.
Love to share the love. Igor, you had a question?
Yeah, I had a question. So this is like a table made manually, right?
Currently, it's mostly manual, the table that I put together, and then the Stellar Expert data table is accessible by API. So any of the projects that are trying to do some developing an exchange can use that API to help them with avoiding some of the problems that would arise there. But as I said, I've got some volunteers, or not volunteers, but people, devs that are hopefully going to be joining in and working with some of the scripts to make the process go quicker and more efficiently. But ultimately, you need to have a real person's eye to look at a project after it's been keyed with some of the possibly fake information. So strictly an algorithm would not work by itself.
Yeah, I noticed you have like so large library of these tokens. I was thought that you can actually made an AI with this amount of data sets. Do you think it's possible?
That's the plan, is hopefully we can start looking at some of this information. For example, we can take a database of real company tickers on the stock exchange and find out if there's tokens made from that. And then that would narrow down a search to find out, oh, is that really a scam copy, or is that some other kind of symbol for a different naming structure? So there's various ways that hopefully we can use coding to help speed up the process. My 1,300 list is probably 1% of what's actually out there. I mean, it's sad to see tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of scams. Now, luckily, the scams have a life cycle, and they do their pump and they die, within a matter of a few weeks. But some of these scams have been held on for months.
Awesome. All right. Well, thank you so much, Crypto Hobbyist. This is like a great work. I know that, like the scam tokens, it's a big issue, and in all of the crypto ecosystems, until have a few people like really fighting against it is super crucial to the, I guess, health of our ecosystem. So thank you so much. And
I'm
definitely
100%.
Go ahead.
I'm 100% for the Stellar ecosystem and trying to make it something that more people use. I mean, that's what it's all about.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, it's great to hear your dedication, and definitely, if anyone has any more questions, please go to the scam flagging system forum post in the SCF channel and I think Crypto Hobbyist might also be some in the chat that you can answer. All right. Well, time's up. We are going to our next candidate, no code wallets. So Igor and Crypto Hobbyist, feel free to stop sharing your screen, and then Igor, take it away.
One moment. You see my screen, right?
Yes, I can see a. Yeah, perfect. Yeah, I can see it.
So we start now. So our project is no code wallet, and the main idea of it is to bring Stellar functional to people who are not that familiar with actual coding and development. Let's continue. So another problem is that many products digital have very limited amount of methods to collect money and to make payouts and process payments. And generally methods like Stripes already established. They have very extensive KYC. So it might be difficult for the small businesses to start to move to digital space. So we're offering a solution called no-code wallet. We are a Stellar-based wallet, and we can be embedded easily with no-code or with low-code concept. Basically, can be integrated with only a single line of code into any website. Our aim is obviously at medium-sized and small-sized businesses. So briefly about how can they be used. One method to use is actually in online stores. You can use it's for payment processing. You can use it for marketplaces because we have transfers within the wallets, and we also support payouts. You can make easily a payout to any web card, to any credit card, Binance, and any other Lumen wallet. So apart from that, we support SEP 031, SEP 024, and SEP 06 in case you have something extraordinary for our project. So briefly about the benefits. You're familiar with blockchain, and I think you should already know that Stellar is actually way faster than any bank. Obviously, low transaction fees. Stellar transactions are really not that expensive. Again, comparing to 2% from Stripes. And obviously it's easy to use because we can be integrated without any code or with just one line. So benefits of the blockchain for us, and to be specific, why do we use Stellar? Stellar actually provides one of the fastest transaction speed, and this will benefit us because fast transactions will benefit us because now bank transfers are usually takes like 2 to 1 days. Comparing it to like a few seconds is an amazing improvement. If you want to use our wallet, right now we support a Bubble plugin. I will demonstrate how to use it. Or you can use simple get and post requests. I will also show you how it works. So as I mentioned, if you do not use website builder, you can use low code concept. Briefly about our team, Igor Tatarinov, I'm actually the founder and I've been participating into SDF before. Vladimir, who is an advisor for the project, and he's very experienced in terms of actual development. And Valentina Feints, she is the lawyer which helps us with the documents and onboarding of our clients. So now I will proceed to demonstrate you. This is actually one of our merchants. If you want to use it, you have to start a Bubble plugin, and you will see drag and drop functions. For example, this function will create you a new wallet. We actually have our website where you can try out all of our functions. I can create a new wallet, log in into wallet, make an actual deposit with the credit card, Binance transfer, and XLM transfer from another wallet. Withdrawal to the same methods. You can get the balance of the wallet. So this is pretty much it. Finished with the presentation. If you have any questions, feel free to ask.
Oh,
Awesome.
excellent! No, is the wallet that you create for website? So it's a web app or is an app for the phone or?
Our wallet is an web app. You make get and post requests, or you use already plug and use plugins. We actually mention them on our website. You can explore our website and see what plugins do we support right now. But at the moment, it's only Bubble. We are aiming to expand to Shopify, WordPress, and we have Telegram bot already working.
Wow, I'm impressed. How long have you been working in this product?
We started in the middle of a summer somewhere. Yeah, like June or July, around this time.
Like you have been long term involved with Stellar because I saw you participating in an SEP.
Yeah, well, I took part into SDF 10 and actually stumbled into an issue because my website builder did not have any methods of payments. And I thought like, okay, we need to make no-code wallet.
I have a quick question. You said you can accept user payment from anywhere in the world. Does that include how will the user in the US
in the
how will you
US
take payment from a US user? Yeah. Would that be
so
true
for
bank, or how would that happen?
we are well, yeah, you can always use the Binance and USDT, and we also can process card in Africa, Europe. Yeah, we can process credit cards in the entire world. Yes, this is we're using external payment provider, APS. They support cards from they support American cards.
Okay, so the only way one can ramp into your platform is through credit card, right? Or debit card.
Credit card, debit card, and the transfer from the Binance.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
Are people creating a new wallet, or are they just integrating a currently held wallet into the system? And if they're creating a new wallet, security is always one of the big concerns that, private keys are kept to just the owner.
Yes, so we actually have two types of user, the merchants and the users. So the merchants, basically people who want to use our wallet, and they create wallets for the users. If you are asking for a merchant, you have to complete KYC. For a user, we actually can provide custodial and non-custodial. And basically, it's up to merchant to store all the required data.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Igor. That was like really, really. I think he made a lot of progress. Also in the bootcamp, it's crazy. Like I was actually facilitating No Code Wallet, and it's amazing how much progress they made, especially around the documentation of making it easier for people to onboard into Bubble. Great. So if you have any more questions, please. Yeah, indeed. Like I love the collabs here in Discord. Definitely use the collabs more often. We need some love here. So. Great. So thank you so much. If you have any more questions, definitely like go into the chat or into the channel, forum channel. And but we are up on time. So next up is block transfer app. All right. Oh, block transfer app, not BTF. Sorry, BTF platform. I keep putting it to block transfer app. Yeah, John. Take it away.
Hi, everyone. This is John from Block Transfer, and let's jump right into it. We'll start here with a little bit of our company. Now, when you trade stock through a normal broker, it goes through a very complicated process that adds a lot of middlemen, which introduce a lot of hidden fees, processing time, and headaches on the back end that most investors don't see. We estimate these costs for an average portfolio to be about 0.5% per year, which is really just a shame. And that's kind of the big objective we're trying to tackle here with our project through a means called a transfer agent. So when a company goes public, they hire a firm called a transfer agent to keep a list of all their investors. You might use one if you ever had book entry stock through a direct share purchase plan or an employee stock option plan. The problem is, if you and I want to trade on the books of a transfer agent, I'm holding in my hands a stack of paperwork, if you can hear that. No video on Discord, but it's big. That's what you have to fill out. Take that to a bank. You and I would have to go together. We'd have to go to the bank officer. He would have to direct us to a local branch that actually offers a medallion signature guarantee stamp. We have to go to that branch, have the banker review all our paperwork, 2 forms of ID, stamp off the documents. Then we have to go to the post office and mail all that in. Just incredibly convoluted process. Here's what it looks like with our platform. So we find a stock that we want to trade, and we can pull their order book and their prices directly from Stellar. And we'll push trade here. We've got 480 shares, and that's directly from our Stellar wallet balance. Say we want to buy some more. So we put in this buy order, and immediately that gets submitted to the SDEX and shows up here on the live order book via Stellar. Now, a very important aspect of everything here is that this is all non-custodial. So the user will sign up through onboarding and generate a wallet locally. They'll send us their public key, which we use for all the reporting, dividends, stock splits, proxy voting. And they'll actually just sign all the transfers and trades locally. And God forbid they lose their key, everything is clawbackable to reset. And this is all up to the best practices in the industry. We've been registered with the SEC for over a year, and we are insured against error by Berkshire Hathaway. In terms of what that looks like for the user, let's say we want to do a very simple transfer. We want to send 230 shares to our investor friends Federation address, which they can also set up. during onboarding. So we set up the transfer, send our demo stock to the friend, and submit it directly to the Stellar chain. And just like that, it'll show up there in our transfer history. Moving along to the company side of things, those are our actual clients. So the investors use the app for free. And then for the companies to get their stocks on our app, they have to assign us as their transfer agent. This is what public American CFOs have the complete and total authority to do at will. And on average, they're starting contracts for their agents around 20 grand a year. And the average in the US is about 400,000. And they are just in so much pain. They really, at the moment, are so frustrated at the transfer agents because of all the paperwork and manual reviews that are involved. They're spending half their Mondays running a $300 million company just approving routine vesting schedules, which could be very easily automated with claimable balances. So far, we've talked to 31 public American CFOs, and just overall, they are really dumbfounded by how there's been a lack of innovation in the space, and are clawing at us, asking for an actual interface to our backend products we've been building over the past couple of years on Stellar to solve this for their investors and keep a record of their stocks. We've actually had one client, private company, reach out to us unsolicited, asking us to be their transfer agent in an exempt offering. And the way we're implementing that as a chance to prove ourselves is through using Lobster as a basic UI and front end for everything. It's not as seamless, though. The investors have to send us their public keys. They have to manage the trust lines. They have to deal with the account balances and lumens. And so that's why we're here working and ideally getting this grant for our app so that we can make the whole process just a lot more streamlined now that we have everything proved out. A little more on our team. As the founder, I published my first book on securities trading strategies in high school, where I also co-founded my first blockchain startup. And since then, I launched a small family fund where we invested in many exotic assets. At the fund, we saw the relatively small hidden fees commonplace in markets exacerbated 40-fold, and we knew there had to be a better way. Here's an example where you could just very simply reinvest your dividends by putting a new buy order in once it gets sent to your account directly on the Stellar network, instead of going through a manual, slow broker at average prices, paying tons of fees for all that, and just a lot of hidden fees that you wouldn't normally see, but that really have a big effect on your long-term portfolio, and perhaps more significantly, affect who can actually invest. Because at the end of the day, we shouldn't exclude 6 billion people from investing.
Are you still here?
I am, that's that.
Okay, great. Awesome. Yeah, no, I was just not sure if that was the end. That's amazing. Well, thank you so much, John, for your presentation. You're entirely right that, I really like this use case, and I think like it's been explored before, but not enough. Great. Anyone have any questions?
Yeah, John, this is a great opportunity. As far as your transfer, and you said on the blockchain, are you going to be using some kind of tokenized asset, or is this just an accounting for each of the exchanges you're working with?
Yeah, so I can actually pull up a quick demo asset, but it's basically what you would think of when you think of an asset just sitting on Stellar. So say we have our demo asset here, just like any other asset on Stellar, and you're going to be able to easily check, for instance, the outstanding shares or the pending trades. Everything's just right there as a native asset on Stellar.
So are those tradable like in Lobster, or are those tradable only through your thing? I mean, how do you keep it that it doesn't get pumped and hurt?
Yeah, so it's tradable directly through the SDEX. So anybody with a wallet that goes through onboarding will be able to trade.
Reinhard, can you please unmute yourself? Great. Any more questions?
So Tom, what is the advantage for retail user to use this instead of Robinhood?
Yeah, the big pain point we see here are the people that invested with Robinhood, especially during the GameStop era, because at the end of the day, the way that the central clearing systems work, they create a lot of shares that actually don't exist. And it's known as naked short selling, and it's something that a lot of people in the Robinhood community have personally dealt with. It's a very, very large problem. And so when you register directly through the transfer agent on the books of the company, you circumvent all of that and you indirectly increase the actual value of the company's stock, while also, like I mentioned earlier, avoiding about 0.5% per year in hidden fees that you get through the normal trading broker system.
Thank you.
Great. I have actually a question. So John, John was also part of the block transfer app, was also part of the SCF 11 bootcamp. They made great progress. John, I know when you spoke to me last week, you were still dealing with an issue regarding kind of like from the US and how securities work, and you had to use clawback. Have you looked into that, or what is the update? Because I did hear that you mentioned clawback, and I would love to hear more on how you're using it and why.
Yeah, so clawbacks have from day one always been a really important thing that Stellar was really one of the only chains that could natively do it. And basically, just at its core, if you have any stock outstanding and the company wants to do a reverse split, as a transfer agent, you have to effect that reverse split. And the only way to do that is through clawbacks. And then also, since we are registered and regulated by the SEC, if there is some kind of trading halt by them, you have to stop trading on the stock. So disabling the trust lines lets us do that as well through Stellar. So just a lot of the minute granular controls that Stellar has over the assets that you issue were really big draws to the platform.
And we're coming up on time here, but what is your kind of like timeline look like? Like, what is your goals in terms of users onboarding? Like, when will you be ready? Like, what does the timeline look like? Yeah.
Yeah, so this first contract you're doing, the private exempt company, they're only going to have like a couple dozen shareholders. So that'll be a pretty easy little chance to start implementing it. Once we have the app finished up, which we really want to have sort of towards the beginning of next year, this grant would really help us speed it up. We already have 10 very good soft commitments from public companies, and 8 of them are pretty much micro cap, small cap firms. Each of them only have a couple hundred shareholders. And as soon as they assign us as their transfer agent, their investors will go through our platform and they'll have to use us to move around their shares. So that'll be a really good next step, is basically just taking on a couple thousand investors from the pre-existing transfer agents for our clients.
Awesome. Well, great to know. Thank you so much for your presentation. Oh, yeah, we are on time. Igor, do you mind putting it in the chat?
Okay.
Awesome. Sorry. Awesome. I think there's some more questions here, so definitely, and we can continue after if anyone wants to stay after to talk. Next up is Paystream. Paystream, take it away. Please unmute yourself.
Hello.
Hello, Emiliana. Can you unmute as well?
Yes.
Okay.
I think John is still on.
Oh, I apologize.
No worries.
Okay. Hello, everyone. This is Fernando and Emiliana from Wallet Guru. We're a fintech based in Florida that specializes in developing digital currency payment solutions for utility companies that operate in Latin America that provide cell phone coverage, broadband internet, pay TV, and streaming video on demand. Our small group is scattered between Miami, Madrid, and Budapest. And we're here to showcase our latest product that's called Paystream. That it's a payment streaming platform that's capable of streaming payments on demand. And when designing this prototype, we asked ourselves constantly, what can we do to leverage on how crypto is changing the way money moves today, which is basically instantly and almost for free across the internet. And we began thinking of a world with no subscription plans. We began thinking of a world with no logins or passwords. Instead, we visualized a world where your smart wallet would automatically pay for what you need in real time. So the way we can achieve this is by building on Stellar's layer 2 payment channel called Starlight that's capable of processing over 1 million payments per second. And by building on Starlight, we would enable users to pay in real time for services without subscriptions. So
Companies like Netflix, for example, could opt to charge on a per second basis instead of requiring their users to pay upfront subscription fees for unlimited services. By further applying this technology, we came up with the idea of payment bandwidth, which basically translates into some amount of money per minute or second. So companies could opt to charge different payment bandwidths for different types of services. So, for example, cell phone companies could charge different prices for 4G or 5G pay-as-you-go download speeds. So the reason why we chose Stellar is because we wanted to make our solution available for the banked and unbanked portions of the population. And in order to achieve this, we would integrate into MoneyGram access of Stellar so that unbanked users could top off their wallets at any MoneyGram location, and also integrating into Stellar's Anchor platform so that we could access traditional fiat rails. And also, by providing free APIs, we would make our ecosystem open and inclusive to any third-party wallets that would wish to add the PayStream functionality to their wallets. So let's quickly jump into a demo and see how this could work. Say, for example, a user wanted to watch a Netflix video without necessarily becoming a member. So we would click on Add Service, choose Content Streaming, and choose Netflix. And here we would come up with different prices for different bandwidths. And the example we wanted to illustrate here is, for example, Netflix could opt to charge 1.5 cents per minute for 1080p resolution streaming. One of the functions that we wanted to add to our prototype was setting alerts so that consumers wouldn't be worried about streaming payments without overspending. So the idea is to set limits on a per day, per week, or per month basis, and we could activate these individually or all together. So once the user customizes his alerts, he would simply choose the resolution he wants to do the playback, accept the rates, and voila, your wallet would be connected to PayStream and Netflix. So that's a quick overview of our prototype. I want to thank you all for your time and look forward to answering any questions.
Awesome, perfectly on time. Well, thank you so much. Is there any questions?
Well, could you explain a bit about the Starlight? How does it work, or I don't know.
Yeah, sure. So Starlight is basically, I don't know if you're familiar with what the Bitcoin Lightning Network is for Bitcoin, but it's more or less the same principle. It's a layer 2 prototype that's been developed by the Stellar Foundation, and it basically is able to process 1.1 million transactions per second, and it's even able to buffer payments in case the latency of the connection is affected. So it's more or less the same as a Bitcoin Lightning Network, but for Stellar.
But it has been already tested, or is it still a conceptual stage?
It's still in a prototype stage right now, and we would be working to perfect that and make it into an operational product.
Yeah, fine. Thanks for the answers.
Thank you.
Awesome. Any more questions?
I have a quick question. Do you have to have partnership with all these different carriers, or what kind of relationship do you have to have?
Yes, absolutely. We would need to have be integrated into their billing systems so that they would need to provide the metering system of the solution. They're the ones who actually know which user is using what and what time or what speed or whatnot. So yes, we do need to connect into the billing systems and also connect via APIs into a metering system controller. So there's different modules to the solution. We just decided to showcase the front end of the solution and sort of showcase what the user experience would be. But it's definitely we would need to integrate into different parts of the carrier systems.
And do you have any kind of conversation with them? Do you know how easy they will be receptive for you having access to their billing system and their metering system? And do you need any kind of hardware for connecting to the metering system?
Yeah, that's an excellent question. It's one of the places we decided where we could deploy our systems is in the North American portal, which is located in Florida. It's basically where the internet runs from North America to South America, and this is where most of these utility companies have their backup systems. So if we deployed our servers and connect to them through APIs in that location, we would have a very low latency connection from running all the way from Florida down to South America. So that's a great place to integrate into their services. And as to if we've had conversations with the carriers, then the answer is yes. One of the greatest pain points of Latin America is in their billing process, because most of the consumers down there are either unbanked or underbanked. So they have a really hard time paying for services, and they usually do so paying with cash. So for them, it's for both, for consumers and the carriers, it's a huge headache paying for services on a monthly basis. So carriers are usually subject to high fees and commissions, and even sometimes even interest from prepaid card vendors. So for them, it would be a real blessing to have this sort of way to market their products and not necessarily have to require users to commit to a fixed amount upfront for services they might not even consume. So consumers down there are very price sensitive and usually have a very low purchasing power when compared to North America or Europe.
Okay, thank you.
Great. Awesome. Well, thank you so much. This is a very unique use case. I'm super excited to learn more about how you will grow, especially also with Starlight. That's super cutting edge on the Stellar end. So great presentation. We are on time. So our next candidate is Neptunus. Neptunus, please feel to unmute yourself and share your screen. Let's see. Is that Farrell? Double check.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right. It seems like we can indeed see your screen. You're all set. All right. Well, take it away.
Hello, I'm Farul from Neptunus, Stellar Dex Aggregator, and now we're gonna pitch out projects. First, we need to talk about the problem. There are a lot of DEX out there. In case on Stellar, DEX on the book and liquidity pools for its asset packs. Multiple DEX mean liquidity are fragmented between the DEX. Fragmented liquidity leads to less efficient market, and traders get worse price impacts due to this fragmented liquidity. And arbitrageurs flourish in this condition due to the fragmented liquidity. There's a lot of markets, so you can sell in A and block in B, and so on. As we can see here, an arbitrager here just convert their 16 XLM to around 2K XLM with an arbitrage transaction. So what if we could reallocate the arbitrage profit to the trader instead of taken to the arbitrageurs? Yes, we could reallocate the arbitrage profit to the trader. We do it by splitting the trades into different paths and packing it into one transaction. In a sense, we are unifying the fragmented market into one big market, hence the name DEX aggregator. What we do, we are trying to bring this technique to be easier to use for public, so we are building interface for it. And in the future, we plan to make it easier for other developers, so they could integrate this to their apps. So we're gonna do some demo here. First, we log in. and we select this is just a test asset. So to test this, now, as you can see here, there is some difference in the estimated amount received. So in our app, we got 4 XLM more because of unique algorithm. So to make sure this works, we're gonna submit this transaction. Nah, transaction success. So before we can see our balance, our XLM balance is this 2,438, and after that we get this. So quick math means it works. It returns these traits, returns 11 XLM instead of the quoted here 7 XLM. That's it. Any question?
Awesome. Thank you so much for presenting. I love the live, you're definitely on time. I love the live demoing here. Only possible with Stellar's quick transaction speeds. Great. Does anyone have any questions? Feel free to unmute. I see that there's one question from Crypto Hobbyist. Do you want to ask it?
Yeah, I was just wondering, is this anything like the automatic market maker pooling, or how is this happening?
So, well, as we can see here in the transaction, we split the 40 million pseudo to these 50 operations. Nah, in this its operations, it use different paths. So like the first operation use the first operation use the liquidity pool, and then the second use order book, and the third use liquidity pool, and the fourth use order book, and so on. So we switch markets in its transaction.
Okay, that answers my question. It seems similar to another project, LumaSwap. I know got into a program as splitting up their transactions.
Anyone have any more questions, comments?
Yeah, I noticed you don't really have a website at the moment. Is this right?
Yeah, just demo. The website is not updated yet.
Oh, all right, all right. Okay.
Awesome. Any more questions? Great. I guess I'll ask one. Farrell, like, what's next for Neptunus? Like, how are you going to like bring this to the users or to market? Like, what's the timeline look like?
We don't have any exact plan yet, but we plan to make this we plan to make it easier for other developers to integrate this into their app. So it's like indirect. Our relation to our customer is indirect, so it's through some apps, other Stellar apps like wallets or something else that use a swap feature.
Awesome. Yeah, no, definitely. So in that case, your users would be, I guess, developers building on Stellar or wallet builders. Great. Well, any further questions? Feel free to unmute. Otherwise, I'm going to the next candidate. Awesome. Well, please continue the discussion in the forum channel of SCF 11 and the forum post Neptunus. We are on. We're definitely getting on time here. So up to our next candidate, BloomyPay. Bloomy, do you want to BloomyPay? We want to unmute yourself.
Yes. Hi.
Awesome. Feel free to share your screen and get going. Take it away.
Give me 1 second. Can you see my screen?
Yeah, I see like this this orange thing.
Can you see my screen now?
Yeah, I see your screen. I see this like orange blur. Maybe you're sharing the wrong screen. I'm not sure.
Drop screen. Share your screen. Okay. Can you see it now?
It's still loading on my end.
I've given permission to share screen.
Yeah, it's still loading on my end. You might want to try to, I know that sometimes you can actually share in a reduced quality. So yeah, try again.
I have a very good bandwidth.
Okay.
Share screen, entire screen. Okay, go live. Warning, the app doesn't have permission to record your screen. You might get unexpected results until you grant access and restart the app.
I want to just quickly check that out. Do you want to go fix that issue and then maybe someone else can go first?
Yes, let me restart my app.
Okay. Megafan World, Reinhard and Megafan, do you want to present?
Sure. So I hope my screen share works better.
Can see it.
See it?
Awesome. Take it away.
Okay, brilliant. So Fan World is an interact to earn metaverse for football soccer fans based on the Stellar blockchain. We're targeting a market of 2 billion football fans, so that's the addressable market around the world. So what is Fan World? It's a metaverse that has interactive games, sweepstakes, community engagement, voting, NFT marketplace, and fan room. And let me just jump to some screenshots to show you rather than just sort of reading off the text. So this is what the social media platform looks like: news, sports, soccer related news, and chat. And then we have the fan room, and this is, let me just dwell on this slide for 30 seconds. This is a very unique feature. People have NFTs in their wallets, but we actually have designed the fan room that you can see on the left, where the fan room picks up whatever digital assets you have in your wallet, and it displays them in your fan room, and you can place the object wherever you like. And then other community users can see your fan room, and you can show off your digital memorabilia. And in a similar concept on the right, there is a store. So anybody who offers, like football clubs who offers sell digital memorabilia, they can exhibit them in their store. This is a screenshot of the games that we have, and gameplay is also NFT related. So you can fans can earn tokens, fan tokens within the game. They can spend them in game, and can also gain utility from those tokens. Now here's our NFT marketplace. This is we actually modeled this. So the appearance, we modeled this after Stellar Term. And this could be remodeled, this could be skinned in a more modern or different look. And this ties directly into the Stellar Decks, which I will say a few words about in a moment. And we have developed a voting system as well, where fans can use their fan tokens to vote on, well, here we have an example just on what's the next NFT we will issue, but football clubs that we cooperate with could have any kind of vote, participation, fan engagement that they like. Okay, so I jump back into the presentation. So this is a platform with real football clubs. We will have real football clubs, and we have signed our contract with our first traditional German football club, 1860 München, 1860 Munich, which is a very well-known football club in Germany, and we're hoping to launch on our beta platform with them for the next season with NFTs and real active fans coming onto our platform. We've also recently signed a cooperation with CoinQuest, who will be our fiat on-ramp provider. So, what's our vision and strategy is to become the #1 global metaverse for the football fan community. And the business model is for fans to make micropayments on the platform using their Stellar-based wallet. And our vision is to drive this based on stable coins. So obviously it could be done with Lumen, but where we really want to be in the end is based on a stable coin, so USDC or a euro-based stable coin, to make this really attractive for ordinary people who are not necessarily crypto expert users. And one thing I should mention, so rather than reading off all the slides, one key aspect is that all digital assets tie back to the Stellar Decks. So what that means is, of course, as you know, that all digital assets that the football clubs will issue in cooperation with us, they will be tradable on the Stellar Decks. People don't have to go through our platform. Of course, through our platform, they'll get a nice, they get everything in one place, and they get a nice skin. And we will take a commission for the dealing that we facilitate. But if our company doesn't exist anymore one day, or which of course we don't hope, but it gives the assurance to the fans and the clubs that the digital assets will persist on the blockchain. It can always be traded on the Stellar Decks, which I think sets us apart from many other NFT offerings that other football clubs have done. So I've already spoken to some of these points, to some of these unique selling points. We have the 3D fan room that I showed you, everything in one place for soccer fans, social media, games, interaction. The model that we propose is the interact to earn. So football fans interact on the platform, interact with their clubs, with other users, and then they earn fan tokens that they can then use for utility value that the clubs will provide. Examples could be digital assets as well as real life assets that the clubs, like a football or t-shirt, or prizes that can be raffled off, like a sign, an autograph from a famous football player, or even top prizes could be like a meeting in person with a famous football
awesome
player.
Time's almost up, so round up now. Yes.
No problem. That's pretty much it. The goal for the next months, we want to go into beta with our signed football club from December, and launch the NFTs with them for the next season. and continue development on the platform to introduce new features and move to a state where we have several thousand active users on the beta platform. Open for questions.
Thank you so much. Yeah, no, definitely. I see like a lot of progress made here. Anyone have any questions? Feel free to unmute yourself.
In the agreements you're getting with the different football teams, are you becoming a exclusive NFT provider or just a NFT provider on Stellar? I mean, how is your trademark sharing working?
We would negotiate that with each individual football club. We would, typically clubs would not really want to give us exclusivity and keep the options open for them to work with others, but that will be a matter of negotiation.
Reinhard, perhaps you tell something about the strategy that we will issue the NFTs on several platforms and then try to bring them to Stellar. So that we want to go to Binance, to Polygon, and because and Flow, because a lot of football clubs have something on these blockchains. So we will use this because we can reach an existing fan base of football investors, and then try to also bring them to Stellar. So that's an important point.
Yeah, I think Andreas has pretty much made the point, but a lot of clubs have already issued digital assets on other blockchains, and our idea is to make these fungible cross-blockchain, and of course ultimately try, where we cooperate with the club, try and drive their existing digital assets that they've already issued back onto the Stellar ecosystem.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. We seem to have come up time. If you have any more questions for Fan World Online. Oh,
one point, because the cooperation with CoinQuest is interesting. It's not an onboard partner, but we bring that CoinQuest would include it in the shops of the fan clubs, of the clubs. So that means that everybody could buy with crypto in the club stores, and also we have in our 3D fan room. Everybody can choose if you buy a digital asset, or you can also buy the real asset in the fan store. So that's a different.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for sharing that. Definitely check that out on their submission, and then we can go to the next candidate now. So thank you, Fan World Online. Our last candidate of the day is BloomyPay. Bloomy,
Okay.
Adam, feel free to unmute and take it away.
Let me try again. Okay, can you see my screen?
Yes, I can see it.
Fantastic. Hi, everybody. My name is Thomas. So I'm based in Boston. So my company is BloomyPay. So we want to include Stellar support for accept payments in Stellar as well as Stellar USDC for e-commerce, marketplaces, QuickBooks for both B2BC, as well as once you receive the payment in Stellar, you have an option to receive in Stellar or receive the money directly in the bank in US, Europe, and across the globe. So there are a lot of challenges in the current crypto payment adoption. Businesses are afraid to accept unregulated crypto payments. They want to make sure that the crypto payment is regulated, the KYC is done. And CFOs are wary about having crypto in the balance, fluctuating crypto prices. Then there's no incentive for crypto payment. For crypto adoption, you want to give some incentive. You give a 5% discount. And e-commerce merchants don't have an easy way to accept crypto. And there's no way to add crypto payment for regular invoicing process. And there is no automated way to convert crypto payment to stablecoin. And crypto to bank off-ramp is very, very complicated. To solve this, what we want to do is BloomyPay. We want to accept Stellar payment through WooCommerce, Magento, Shopify stores, or QuickBooks. And we have partnership with Wire. And the customer has an option to send the money to the bank or to the crypto wallet. So with the easy thing is that accept XLM or USDC, accept crypto, get paid in crypto or bank account using BloomyPay. And we do have plugins with Shopify, WooCommerce, Magento. anyone can start accepting with no code, just download a plugin and start accepting Stellar as the payment option. And also sometimes what happens is, though you get the payment, you want to split the payment across multiple vendors, say as an NFT marketplace, you want to reward the creator. So you can always do that through our split payment functionality. And we do have payments API as well as QuickBooks. Say you're a business, you want to create an invoice. Some customers want to pay via fiat, but some customers you want to accept Stellar. You can create QuickBook invoices sent to your customer, and the customer can choose to pay via Stellar. And we also have a portal where people can create these payment links and send to any customer via messaging email and accept payment. We do have payments API. With a few lines of code, we can integrate our product. We are available in most of the states in the US, across Europe and Asia Pacific, Latin America, and Middle East. So people can receive fiat or Stellar and receive the money in the bank. So we have licenses in all the 48 states, and we cover most of the countries in Europe as well as countries in Asia and Latin America. And my name is Thomas Arul. Again, I'm based in Boston. Happy to support the Stellar ecosystem and looking forward to getting this launched pretty soon. We want to launch it by the end of this month for Stellar. And we are the #1 payment provider for Algorand. We launched in Polygon, and we support Ethereum. Now we want to get launched in Stellar as we speak. Okay.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Thomas. This is a great presentation. Does anyone have any questions?
Yes, I do. Thomas, you mentioned that you have licenses in all the 50 states in the US. What kind of licenses are those? MTL licenses?
Yes. We have covered all 48 states except for New York and Texas.
Okay. All right. Interesting. You and I should connect later.
Okay.
Any more questions? I guess in the meantime, I'll ask a question. So you mentioned in the end you were actually very active on Algorand and another chain as well. What made you made the change to Stellar?
No, I think so. We are a multi-blockchain support, so we are probably the #1 payment provider on Algorand, and we added Polygon recently, and a lot of businesses are asking for Stellar, especially corporate B2B. So we want to include Stellar as a payment option for our clients.
Awesome. Any more questions? Okay, I guess I'll ask one more. So what is the so is it already integrated, or what does the timeline look like for integration and user adoption?
So we already we have we've been in business for 3 years. We processed more than $20 million worth of payments. But for Stellar, we want to go live by this month end. If you look at our website, bloomy.com, we can see that we are saying we use this fund to launch Stellar, hopefully by this month end.
Awesome. Any more questions? Great. Well, thank you so much, Thomas from Bloomy. That was an amazing presentation, and I'm glad to hear that from Algorand and Polygon you're also going to Stellar ecosystem to expand on capabilities here. Great. Well, thank you all so much. Thomas, feel free to stop sharing your screen, and then I will close it off. Let me go to my... All right. Perfect. So thank you so much, everyone, for being here, for presenting. This was one of the more the smoothest candidate pitches that I had. So we started actually in SCF 10 to have the candidate pitches, and to have it now again, and to see the progress and to see how smooth everything went. it's really great to see. So thank you so much for being here, for engaging with the candidates, and continue the discussion in the SCF 11 forum channel. So as you can see here, there's an SCF 11 forum channel. There's a lot of posts here. Please engage, ask your questions, connect with people, because these are really the connections that can set you up for a long time. So great, but this is only the first candidate pitch session, and we have more today and tomorrow. I have shown here screenshots from today's session. So there's one at 3 p.m. Eastern time and one at 8 p.m. Eastern time. So definitely come join us again later today and tomorrow. We have two as well tomorrow to watch and engage with the SCF 11 candidates. All right, so also I want to remind everyone that its community vote is starting next week, that where verified community members can vote on which candidates they want to see grow in the ecosystem and want to have received their grant. And if you want to be part of the voting, you can come become SCF verified. There's a channel in the Discord here with the resources where you can apply. And keep up to date and learn more. We are, an active Discord, and there's always a lot of stuff going on. So definitely looking forward to having you on again later today at 3 p.m. All right. Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you, Anka.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye.
Anka, one quick question.